Tonight, I'm pleased to have each one of you in this get-together to celebrate one more year of accomplishment.
That was the 12th of November 2023. I was overjoyed, hosting an event I had worked on throughout the entire year to make it perfect. And if I may say so, it was a wonderful event, thoughtfully organized for my dear students. However, even then I experienced episodes of stomachache, which I attributed to anxiety. After all, I was quite anxious. I remember taking a photo in my hotel room where I was hosting the event, and at that moment, I told myself, go away pain, not today, I need to be well. I focused on the celebration and managed to push the pain aside until it finally disappeared. I was quite sure that the episodes of stomachache had happened because I had been up and down organizing the celebration, or because I was afraid something could go wrong, but that pain continued even after that celebration. By the end of November 2023, I had an episode of strong heartburn. I even had to call off some classes because I was unable to teach. It seemed to me there was a fire inside my chest. I took some medicine for heartburn and fell asleep that day. The next day, I was fine again, and I didn't get bothered to see a doctor. I hated the idea of seeing a doctor. Therefore, whenever I had any pain, I would drink some tea or painkiller, but seeing a doctor? No way. It's not necessary, I used to say. However, stomachache got back. In December again, one day in a week, and then the other week. In January 2024, it started to be twice a week. And in February, the stomachache had already increased the intensity and the frequency. I had a stomachache every day. The pain usually came in the evening, and I started tossing and turning bad from the discomfort. That's when I realized that it was really time to see a doctor. In my first appointment with the doctor, he assumed to be an H. pylori bacteria that caused the discomfort. But to make sure, of course, I needed an endoscopy exam. Well, exam done, and he found an ulcer and something weird that he collected for biopsies. He also asked me for more exams called CA, and I knew they were exams to detect signs of tumors. I had seen the blood exams results, and according to my interpretation, the CA exams were okay, nothing had been detected. I got happy and even told my family that the tumor sign was out. On the other hand, my cholesterol was a bit high and signs of high glycemia as well. Well, I could imagine I needed a very good change in my life. Anyway, before the day to see the doctor again, I went on holidays to a friend's house in Espírito Santo.
So I have just landed in Victoria.
We had a great time. I had no idea that it'd be the last happy time of the season. When I arrived at the office, the first thing the doctor asked me was, "Did you travel, Chris?" I said, "Yes, I did." He says, "Oh, great." And I could see that he was about to tell me bad news, but I still thought it was related to my blood exams, cholesterol thing, anyway. Then I turned and said, "I know I'm not okay." And he asked, "Oh, did you see the exams results?" I say, "Yes, I did." And then he says, "Oh, Chris, I'm really sorry." I'm like, "Sorry? Sorry about what?" He says, "Wait, what exams did you see?" I said, "The blood exams." Then he's like, "Oh God. So you haven't seen the biopsy result?" I'm like, "No, what is it?" Then he says, "Well, Chris, I have to go straight to the point. you've got a malignant cancer. It's adenocarcinoma and it's aggressive. You need a surgery and it's a matter of urgency. Well, I was shocked. I was alone for disappointment. I didn't cry at the moment. I just finished up hearing the doctor's recommendations and I left the room in silence. I called an Uber driver to take me home. While I was waiting, I felt dizzy, but I asked God to give me strength. I couldn't pass out there alone. Then the driver arrived, a woman driver. I got in the car, and as soon as we left the place, I told the driver, "Excuse me, man, but I need to cry." She looked at the rear mirror a bit scared and said, "All right." Then I cried. I cried like a baby. This driver was so nice. She asked me to hold her hands while I was crying and said, "If you feel comfortable to talk to me and let me know what's troubling you, I'm here all ears." Then I told her, "I've just been diagnosed with cancer." She stopped the car, looked around and said, "This is a diagnosis, not a death penalty. God is with you, and I know you will be okay. Can you believe it?" I was still crying, and she continued, "Look into my eyes and say that you believe it." So I looked and said, "Yes, I do. I believe it."